Tonight's first period on the Comcast Network is brought to you by your local Chevy dealers and by Papa John's. The day after every Flyers win, get 50% off your online order at papajohns.com using promo code FLYERS. Meeting number 247 in the regular season between these teams, and the Flyers have had the better of it of late. They've won 28 of the last 33 meetings between these two clubs.
Let's take a look at our key starting goaltenders for the New York Islanders. That's Kevin Poulin back in goal again. He played last night against the Pittsburgh Penguins, took a 4-3 loss, but had some outstanding saves in that matchup. Steve Mason looks to get his record back to 500. Ray Emery picked up the win against Buffalo, and Mason will try to do the same here against the New York Islanders.
Poulin playing, of course, because Evgeny Nabokov is out with a groin injury. Mason just looking to continue his role. As the Flyers close out this 3-game homestand, they will only play 5 home games from now until the second week of January.
Wow.
So there'll be a lot of road hockey coming up. The puck deflected high in the air as we're underway. The Flyers in their home orange jerseys, road whites for the Islanders, who played and lost last night in Pittsburgh. A late goal by Sidney Crosby, giving the Penguins the victory. There's Steve Downey in across the Islander line. He'll wind and fire in the save made by Poulin, who was very good, as Jonesy mentioned last night, was very busy. He's busy early here with that save. Flyer combinations at the top of your screen.
Real nice job by the Flyers on that breakout, and Couturier's line continues to think offense. Downey with an intelligent play, getting the puck to the net and testing Poulin right away, looking for a rebound with Sean Couturier and Matt Reed both driving to the front of the goal.
There's a big difference in this hockey team. You're seeing line rushes now. You're seeing 3 guys come down the ice. What a difference.
Flyers in the forecheck here, and they get the puck free. It's jammed wide of the net by Giroux. He was hoping for Voracek, but he was tied up. Scott Hartnell able to steal the puck once, but the second try, Islanders get it to center. Colin McDonald after it. Now it bounces back. It is played by the veteran defenseman Radek Martinek across to Thomas Hickey, the former King, and now it's Martinek from the red line will last one in. It's snared by Mason. He's going to hang right onto it and take the face-off at his own zone.
Well, there's the Chief, Craig Berube, and I just think he's done a spectacular job. He's the perfect guy, isn't he, for this job? He's got the perfect demeanor, Jonesy, to stand there, and you'll never walk away from him wondering what he meant.
Honesty goes a long way. There's no question about it, and you're never going to wonder what Craig Berube meant when he said something to you.
There's a shot from the point, denied by Mason. And Reed jams at it, couldn't get out of the zone. Now Vanek, a shot that bounces off a skate to the corner. Kyle Poso after it. Knocked away from him. Downey lays it off for Couturier. Back to Downey, and now across for Reed. The matchup the Flyers want. Reed with a shot, and that's gloved by Poulin, and he'll scoop it up, hang right on. Got Capuano in his 4th year as the Islanders head coach. His 2nd all-time. Now Auburn wins, but he's not been happy with his team's play of late.
They've been really poor in their own zone, and that would not make a head coach happy. There's the scratches for tonight's game. Peter Regan scratched. Pierre-Marc Bouchard also, both players were in the lineup last night. Regan was not very good, and Jack Capuano elects to take him out of the lineup.
Same lineup for the Flyers, as has been the case now for 7 games. Shed a shot here, deflected and went wide. Those were the virtuous scratches of tonight's game. LeCavalier tipping the puck to Simmons. Wayne Simmons turns it in on goal, and the save made by Poulin as LeCavalier was trying to maneuver it past him.
Where you want to play against this Islanders team. Nabokov out. Kevin Poulin, of course, getting the start in back-to-back nights. I thought he was terrific last night. They continue to look for answers in goal, but Poulin was very good.
Anders Nielsen is the backup. He has not played since being recalled after Nabokov's injury, as this is the 7th consecutive start for Poulin.
Another big 6'5" goalie.
Yeah, Nielsen's 6'5", Poulin 6'2". Poulin is from Montreal. It is French, but he tired of having his name not pronounced correctly the French pronunciation, so he just went with the American version of Poulin. Says, just call me Poulin. So
We appreciate that.
Yes. Grabner flying into the Philadelphia zone for a shot. Save made by Mason. Michael Grabner, one of the fastest players in the NHL. He's had a hard time finding the net, though, this year. Not scored since opening night. Could break down here with a shot. Now it's deflected away by the former Islander, Mark Strikes, who then will go across to Simmons. Simmons to LeCavalier. And he'll just backhand in on Poulin. He's going to cover up with Braden Shen nearby, and he did so long enough to get the whistle.
You got to really pay attention. Michael Grabner's out there because the acceleration that this guy has. He goes from 0 to 60 in about 2 strides, and especially when it comes to the open ice and having an opportunity on the breakaway. So when he's on the ice, everybody's got to be paying attention.
But really has been a problem, Coates, for the Islanders. His lack of scoring, 19 straight without a goal, and he was a healthy scratch a couple games back. Never thought you'd see that with all the speed he brings to the lineup, as Coates mentioned. But when you're not producing, that can happen. Luke Shen, got that off the stick. Jay Rosehill tracks it down, then right back to Shen for a shot. Deflected wide. Adam Hall in front. Trying to find the net again. He has a point in each of the last 2 Flyer games and has been so good on faceoffs. Islanders will lob this one out to the neutral zone. Eric Bolton. It actually lands and hits Matt Martin. Flyers get it back, and Gustafsson will play it across to Shen. 3 shots for each team here early through just 2.5 minutes. Glad you could join us on the Comcast Network. Flyers and Islanders, second of 4 meetings this season. They'll play a home and home later on in the year to wrap up the season series. That pass off Matt Cartner's skate. Taken by Gustafsson, a head off of Hall. Stick deep into the Islanders zone. Flyers will change. Bit of a slow change, but they get it executed. And here's Radek Martinic moving up. They wind it into the Philadelphia zone. Tavares after it, could not come up with it. Couturier now rumbles out to center ice. Sean Couturier one-handed it, couldn't get it in. Downey follows up. Downey maneuvering toward the slot. Lost control just as he got ready to make a play toward the net. And now across ice, Vanek sending it into the Philadelphia zone. Timonen, that one roll up on the dasher. Bounces around behind the net now. And it's Calaposo getting to it for the Islanders. Tried to set her, blocked by Timonen, who stole the puck, moved it ahead. Reed trying to clear, could not. Martinic kept it in, he got it to Vanek. Thomas Vanek, 2 goals last night, back out to Hickey. His pass was behind. Its intended receiver Coburn takes over and clears the zone.
Good smart play there by Braden Coburn. John Tavares sitting right behind him, looking to try to scoop that puck away. You have to be careful every time Tavares is out there against you.
Grossman to Strite. He breaks his stick on that pass, and now look out. Here comes Josh Bailey. Strite without the stick. The shot denied by Mason. Flyers need a clear. Hartnell fanned on it, and it's kept in. Hamannik's shot blocked as Strite got a stick back. And now it's played through center. I believe he got a stick from a forward, did he not? And then a forward, I think it was Jake Voracek, went over to the bench to get a new stick. The Flyers do have 5 players with sticks on the ice now as Luke Shen has replaced Strite anyhow. Sends pass ahead to Voracek, who will just push it deeper into the Islanders zone. Poulin to the corner. Andrew McDonald bats it, but it goes right back out to Luke Shen for a shot. The net is off its moorings, in fact falling forward as the puck was headed toward it. Strange play, and no goal.
Turnover by the Islanders leads to the opportunity for Luke Shen, and Poulin had been out of the net. Scott Hartnell trying to find his way to the front of the net and took the net with him. As you can see, Poulin moved the puck there. Giroux's on him. Hartnell tried to cut in between and ends up knocking the net over. No fault of Kevin Poulin, but a Flyers opportunity goes away.
That would have gone in the net.
Yep. It would have gone in the net.
So that's a bad break for the Flyers. The correct call clearly made. The puck never did, as you could see, go in the net. Ian LaPerriere. I'm not quite sure if he's saying something with a little humor there. I think he was.
Try to leave the net on.
Yes. When we say go to the greasy areas, hit there without knocking the net off its moorings. So it remains scoreless. Luke Shen back, and he left it. It's a turnover, and from the side of the net, that shot was blocked off. Grabner again involved for the Islanders, so he's been active early. Cavalier winding it into the Islanders on that skips past Poulin. Simmons will tuck it down low to Braden Shen, who threw it to the other side of the ice. Luke Shen with a shot, the save made. The rebound back out to Gustafsson. He turns it over as he threw it to the middle, but then it tips away, and LeCavalier gets it back. A pass for Braden Shen. He lunges but can't come up with it, and finally it's sent out to center ice.
Well, I love these guys all have their heads up. They're all looking for each other. The support is unbelievable.
They didn't draw it up that way the last foray in the zone. Here's a big shot by Streit, who'd love to score against his former team, but he missed the target. It goes all the way down the ice. That last foray before the Streit shot was a little disjointed, but it ended up getting a chance toward the net. Good contact here, and there's Rosehill moving up. Rosehill will jam it into the corner. Back Ronaldo is checking his skate out behind the play. He seems to be okay. Grossman across. Streit will sift it in along the boards. Spent 2 years as the captain of the Islanders. Matt Martin knocked down by Grossman, but the Islanders have a chance to move up. Donovan decides to pull it back to his own line. Played 6 minutes of this first period. No score. Each team with 4 shots on goal. Karkner will play it into the Philadelphia zone. Teaming it back to get it. Pass to Coburn, who let go off his skate, then his stick, and now Couturier charging after it in center. He's able to get it in on Poulin. Poulin's going to cover up with Couturier charging at him. We'll be back. Game notes. Lots going on around the National Hockey League from some big names. Jaromir Jagr, another milestone. One for Sid the Kid as well. And Alexander Ovechkin just continues to light the lamp.
The goals keep coming for Jaromir Jagr. It was a big one, too. An overtime winner for Jaromir Jagr. 690 now, tied with Mario Lemieux, and continues to climb up the chart. Steve Yzerman, look out.
Sidney Crosby not quite up that high. He hasn't had as much time, but he might be there someday. Goal number 250 last night, the game winner for the Penguins against these Islanders. And Alexander Ovechkin, all he's done is score 19 goals in 21 games, 23 games for his team, and he's on pace for 60 or so.
Incredible when so many star players are having a tough time finding the net. Ovechkin has not, and after a slow start to last season, he certainly has been on fire.
Alec Martinic with the puck here ahead to John Tavares. Tavares, nice pass to Oposo, it across the line. Devanek for the shot, snared by Mason, and the puck actually went off his glove behind. He thought he had it, so did I.
Oh, that one right in the glove, came right back out. He had no clue that it had gone to the right.
Neither did I. Here's Downey, and that's taken away by Vanek, and he'll move it back. Oposo does stay on side as he gets to this puck. He's tied up at the corner by Gustafsson. Quite a few shots here early on in this one. Flyers back-to-back games of at least 40 shots for the first time in 3 years. And they're on a good pace again with 5 shots early, but the Islanders also have 5. Here's Hamonic to Bailey, back for Hamonic. He is stripped of the puck, but Gustafsson could not clear it. Other side of the ice. Voracek dipping back to get to it. His pass is to Couturier, and now back in center. Voracek tried to catch up to that, but could not. Andrew McDonald, who left last night's game with an apparent hand injury, came back for the third period after missing the second. Out of the head to Colin McDonald, no relation. Got one wide, now Colin McDonald has it behind the net. Centering it, went off of Franz Nielsen back to Luke Schenn ahead, off the stick of Giroux, but not out of the zone. Andrew McDonald keeps it in. Luke Schenn is there. Islanders with a lot of energy here. They're skating very hard in the early going of this game. That will not be icing. So Karkner has to play it. Up the wall. Simmons surging to that puck, but then Hamonic tied him up. And the Islanders move it ahead. There is Karkner, gaining the Philadelphia line. Matt Karkner will center, it goes in on goal. Mason knocks that aside, and Braden Schenn the other way, but he lost control. Flyers turning the puck over. And this is the problem they had in the first period the other night. They rectified it eventually against Buffalo. They're going to have to again here tonight.
And the Islanders will feast on those turnovers. Now they're getting some offensive zone pressure because of that last one. And a couple of times when Tavares' line was on the ice, the Flyers did not get the puck in deep, and that's trouble.
Here's a steal though by Braden Schenn to Lecavalier to Simmons for the shot, and the save made by Poulin. No rebound.
Take a look at those Ovechkin goals from last night. It was in a 3-2 loss to the Montreal Canadiens. Right there from a bad angle, beats Peter Budaj. And then does a nice job in the redirection of John Carlson's shot there to give the Capitals a chance to come back. They did not, but there's the goals for Ovechkin and Alexander Steen in second with 17.
Goal scorers can score from anywhere. When you look at guys over the years, if they shoot from anywhere inside, the hash mark, the dots, they're going to score. That's just the way they are.
Here's Luke Schenn looking for room, but his shot blocked. Down in a heap went Eric Bolton after that hit him, but he appears to be okay as Gustafsson goes back to get the puck for Philadelphia. Outlet pass. Adam Hall will just throw that one to the neutral zone. Rosehill and Bolton dropped the gloves and scrapped up on Long Island last month. They're both on the ice right now. Wouldn't be surprised if they did it again. Gustafson's shot here is blocked, and now Bolton has the puck. They'll send it all the way down. They rule that icing, as they feel as though Gustafson couldn't have played that puck.
Flyers catch a bit of a break there. And you can too. Santa Sex, the ultimate Flyers gift pack. They're on sale now. Packages include 2 tickets to a Flyers game of your choice, an autographed puck, tickets to Adirondack Phantom games in Philadelphia, a 2014 calendar, and much more. Give us a call.
You will. It'd be a great break to get that. Not as much a break for the Flyers here because they corrected the call. The
Smart.
face-off.
It's good they do that, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Get it right. I mean, there's no doubt Gustafson could have played that puck.
I think they've done a great job with this hybrid icing. You don't see very many face-offs coming back to the middle of the ice because they don't make very many mistakes.
And that puck hops out of play, so we'll have a draw, and apparently it hit off an Islander. They're going to move the face-off out to center ice. Kyle Oposo, part of the top line for the Islanders, and having a solid season, 22 points, and leading the club in plus-minus.
Important piece to that line because he's fast. Neither Tavares or Vanek have a lot of quickness. They have great quickness with their hands, but they're not known for their skating ability.
Islanders cut off another pass in the neutral zone. Hickey fires in on Mason. Mason tries to outlet, and it's knocked down by Tavares. His pass to Vanek, spinning it back for Tavares, but that's intercepted by Couturier. And now he'll go to center. Downey interfered with. That'll be a penalty. He gets up, still has the puck. Got it to Couturier, who is checked and couldn't get the shot off. And there's the whistle. Flyers will get the game's first power play as Downey was interfered with.
Well, Hickey was just holding on. I mean, he was lost because Steve Downey's got the jump. When he gets the jump on him, right here you see Hickey's kind of flat-footed, so he's got no choice but to be able to pull down Downey. But Downey gets up. You know, this is when you practice when you're a kid. You got to down on your knees, come back up, and then you're ready to go again. Couturier right there in the slot with the opportunity, but knocked away right at the last second.
So Hickey sits. Downey's sitting too, but he's at the bench. And the Flyers go to the bad advantage. Number 1 unit out there, Voracek teaming in on the points. Hartnell, Simmons, Giroux up front. Here's Hartnell in front for Giroux, and he didn't have his stick quite ready for that. Now back out Thibaudy to Giroux. Giroux with a shot. That one hit a body and went to the corner. Voracek hustles over after, jams it through to Simmons. Simmons tried to go between the legs out to Hartnell, but that was knocked down. And Cizikas a chance to clear. Hartnell's lost his stick. He does get in the way of the clear, but now the Islanders send it off Timonin's glove to the neutral zone. There's your McDonald's power play payoff contested. Sheila from Waterford, hoping the Flyers can put some money in her pocket.
Good job by you.
It's deferring, I believe. There's Giroux across for Streit to Voracek. Streit has replaced Timonin. There's Giroux, the one-timer save, made rebound, tipped away from Simmons. Giroux has it back. He waits across ice off Hartnell, and then played out by Hamonic. Well, the numbers for the season, you can see the Islanders at the bottom of the NHL. Offside call there. They're saying Giroux beat the puck in. The Islanders have allowed power play goals in 4 straight games, 18 in the last 12. Get Philly sports news and scores when you're on the go. Be the first to know the latest in all your Philly teams right from your smartphone. Download the free CSN Philly Sports app now. When these teams played less than a month ago, the Islanders were in the upper half of the league in penalty kill and at the top of the league in power play. They're now 21st in the power play and 30th in the penalty kill. Their special teams have gone completely south on them.
The power play number is amazing to me because of the play of Tavares. He's the one guy everything runs through, but Matt Molson left and the chemistry has not been there, so that's something Jack Capuano wants to fix in a hurry.
Flyers not getting to the loose puck in the offensive zone on their power play here, and the Islanders will clear it all the way down. 25 seconds remain. Flyers have scored a power play goal in 5 consecutive games. 1 for 7 the other night against Buffalo. They say it's outside. Here's Reed with a shot off the iron. Gets it back, and now Reed to Couturier. Cross ice, Streit. Cavalier back out to Streit. Out about a shot, now goes behind his back. Cross ice pass Couturier, back to Streit for the shot blocked. Couturier keeps it alive. Reed shot is blocked in front by McDonald. Andrew McDonald leads the NHL in shot blocks. And he added another one to his total right there. The power play is over. And there is McDonald looking for Cizikas, but that one bounces on through. The Flyers will play it at their own line. 7:45 to play in this first period. Still no score. At Reed, nearly tallying again. Iron. Right ahead. Now Ronaldo with a shot that goes wide. Downey is it back behind the net. Now it's out toward the line. Kept in by a hustling Grossman, but right to the Islanders, who play it through center ice. Grossman tying up the puck along the near board, and the Islanders are trying to push it past him, and now they jam for it. Ronaldo got it as far as the red line, and then and drills it into the Philadelphia zone. Mason up the wall for Ronaldo. Got it to Hall, who twists it ahead. Downey got his stick on it, couldn't control. Ronaldo gets it back, waits for Downey to get outside, then in across the line. Ronaldo swings wide in the left wing, and then centered. It went off the stick of Poulin, and is gotten back by Tavares. Tavares' pass through Martinic all the way to Vanek at the Philadelphia line, but he beat the puck into the zone. Offside the call. Still waiting for the first goal in this one. Flyers, of course, always very active in the community, and certainly that is the case with the captain, Claude Giroux. This afternoon, met with the children and families from the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, presented a $20,000 check to CHOP. Generous donation coming from winnings given to Giroux from the EA Sports NHL 13 cover vote. So great gesture there indeed. CHOP does such great work, and $20,000 from Claude Giroux.
Terrific stuff from Claude Giroux, and you can see the points starting to come for Giroux. He'll try to keep that going here with Hartnell and Voracek.
And off the face-off, the puck ricocheting off of skates and finally rolls on out to center ice. That's us from the Jimmy from the Wells Fargo Center, along with our great crew. Flyers and Islanders here on the Comcast Network. Flyers trying to make it 7 straight games with a point and trying to get to the 500 mark for the first time this season. Who would have thought they were 1-7, and even at the beginning of this month of November that they'd have a chance before Thanksgiving to get back to the 500 mark.
And so much of it is the spacing in the offensive zone. Right there, you had a great example. The Islanders, very difficult for them to gain the red line. They're forced to ice it. Luke Schenn hustles and makes sure that he gets there in time, and the Flyers get another offensive zone face-off where the Islanders will have to go all the way up the ice to try to get something going.
It's a team now. It's a team in the offensive zone. They got 5. They got 5 in the neutral zone, 5 in the defensive zone. They're playing the game the way it's supposed to be played.
A pass ahead did not connect with Lecavalier, so it's icing, and the face-off will go all the way down into the Philadelphia zone this time. There is Lecavalier and Streit. Cavalier with a hat trick against the Islanders the last time these teams played. And for his career, he has lit the lamp with regularity against this team. 26 career goals, third active.
And Mark Streit has found him a lot for the one-timer. He's great at putting it in the wheelhouse for Lecavalier.
Hamonic with the puck. Did not get it in front as Grossman approached. But finally jabbed to the boards. Nice strike cleared by Braden Schenn. Flyers are going to change again. A lot of changing going on, mixing and matching. The Tavares line is out. There's a good play made by Downey to take it away from him. To Reed. Reed holds, fans, gets it back, and then fires toward the net. Deflected by Couturier. Save Poulin, and he's able to snare it. This line up to it again, but denied by Poulin.
Scoreless here. Kimmo Timonen continues to play some stellar defense for the Flyers. Took a little bit of a puck off the hand as the New York Islanders were trying to exit the zone while shorthanded. Timonen tried to glove it down, and it was stinging him for a while as he continues to try to shake it off, but he has been terrific at both ends of the ice. Picked up 3 points a couple of games ago against the Ottawa Senators, and is really starting to show some of that offensive flair that we've seen from Timonen in the past.
You know, guys like that, 38 years old, the cream always comes to the top when times get a little tough, and as this team's got better, so is Timonen.
Flyers win the draw to Kimmo. We get to Downey, who tried to center, it was blocked. Now you're back after it, turning, holding on, and then shuffling it to Timonen. He couldn't come up with it, Reed does. Now he turns with it at the line, snaps it in along the wall, all the way to Couturier. He's checked by Tavares. Downey in there. It comes free. Reed races over to get to it. Right back to Couturier. Couturier muscling McDonald off the puck. Turns with it. Centered, it went off a skate. Take back out. And then it's cleared to center ice.
Hamonic did a great job on Downey off the odd poster. That puck would have been right there for him.
Here's Coburn now to team him, but again, it was the Couturier line spending the shift in the offensive zone. They're still at it. Here's Reed. Reed with a shot. That's blocked off by Grabner. Grabner will move it ahead and hit Cal Clutterbuck to the Philadelphia line. Clutterbuck's quick shot right into the chest of Mason, and he'll pin it right there.
Good time for a whistle by Steve Mason. Flyers in a bit of a line change there. The holiday season is upon us, and what better way to celebrate than in a suite at a Flyers game. Invite 12 to 80 guests and get an autographed Flyers puck to give to each one. Call 215-389-9500 to book your premium holiday party today.
Take below 5 minutes remaining in this first period. Erik Gustafsson will move the puck to Luke Schenn and get it right back. Now ahead for Simmons. He was tightly marked by Grabner and couldn't clear. Gustafsson will have to go back for it. Islanders love to forecheck. They had some great chances against the Penguins last night early on in that game. Would have been a different game if they'd been able to capitalize on some. They ended up falling behind, coming back, and then losing late. Icing the call there. Gives us a chance to tell you our Jeep trivia question of tonight's game. Ron Hextall, the first goaltender to score a goal by actually shooting the puck into the net. Before Mike Smith did it just last month, who was the most recent NHL goaltender to score a goal? Not be credited with a goal, but to actually score into the net. It was either Osgood, Nabokov, or Theodore.
That's a real good question.
Give you the answer between the second and third periods. Here's LeCavalier moving up. The shot blocked off by Hickey. Hickey then up on the boards. Braden Schenn got his stick on the puck momentarily. Now Martin banks it, but Simmons is there. He'll take the shot. It's blocked and went wide. Braden Schenn to the carom. Behind the net for LeCavalier. LeCavalier protecting the puck as best he can. Finally, he's knocked off of the puck. Martin takes a big hit from Simmons. LeCavalier back to the puck. Martin to him. LeCavalier fends him off. Back out Gustafsson. Wrist shot. And a save made by Poulin. The rebound to Braden Schenn. Schenn tried to swing that back down low for LeCavalier. Martin intercepted, but Voracek now is out. And he gets to the puck. Voracek protecting as he tries to keep it away from Martinez. And it go all the way across to Gustafsson. Gustafsson waits. Moves in along the wall. Holds. Tried to center. Voracek shot. Poulin the save. That pass took a while getting there, but Voracek with a great scoring chance. Poulin had an answer. He's been good. 10 saves now for the goaltender of the Islanders. Hartnell in. He could not get the puck deep into the Islanders zone, so Streit in center. Plays it to Voracek. 6 of the game's first 10 scoring chances belong to the guys wearing the orange jerseys. There's Grossman from the red line, bouncing one in. Poulin sets it up for McDonald. McDonald in the last year of his contract, and he's a guy a lot of teams would love to have. He blocks shots. He can create plays the offensive end. This is one of those defensemen that can do it all. Do everything pretty well. Colin McDonald with that shot blocked by Grossman. And the Flyers move back and Voracek will fling in. Flyers changing. Hartnell goes after the puck but didn't come up with it. Colin McDonald to Franz Nielsen. Now Josh Bailey, he's at the end of his shift. He'll pump it in and head off the ice. Both teams finishing changes. 2.5 remaining in the period. Over to Downey. That's a turnover in a bad area. As Tavares steals and gets to Vanek, who fires. Save Mason. And he'll hold right on to it.
Terrific pass there from Tavares to Vanek, who fires away. Voracek did a great job in getting himself that offensive opportunity by hustling in the corners. Great work there, puck protection, and then alertly found Gustafsson with a terrific pass after warding off a couple of Islander defenders. He gets to the front of the net for the shot on goal.
Voracek, as you mentioned, does all the work, but I'll tell you what, he goes to the net after. That's what the thing is. He did all the work in the corner, then ended up in front.
Flyers get the puck here, an outlet from Couturier to Reed. Reed up the left wing, takes a look, tried to cut to the middle off the net, still stays after it, but the puck slides on into Poulin, who covers up.
This line has been outstanding. Steve Downey continuing to help out Matt Reed and Sean Couturier. Downey making some smart plays in this game. Early on, the first shift of the game, Berube's got him out there. He's firing away. Poulin had to make a strong save there. He draws a penalty here as Thomas Hickey is forced to pull him down in the neutral zone. And then defensively, right there on John Tavares, a nice job in forcing the turnover of Matt Reed, Downey, and Couturier head into the offensive zone. And Couturier gets a prime scoring chance on Poulin. Great stuff from that line.
He's tied with Claude Giroux with those 11 assists for club leadership. Obviously, some of them came as a member of the Colorado Avalanche. But he has been good since being acquired, no question about that. Gustafsson knocks that clear down. Hickey played it back through Gus out to the neutral zone. Clutterbuck fires in. Mason cuts it off to Cavalier. He was checked. The Flyers get it back. There's Gustafsson again. Big wide feed for the Cavalier, pivoting. Big wide the other way, looking for Schenn. He couldn't come up with it. Did touch it. No icing as Hickey will play it along the boards. And now Clutterbuck furthers it through center and all the way down. They wave off icing here as well. Minute 20 remaining in the period. Mark Streit, he admitted to being nervous when he played against the Islanders up Nassau Coliseum. Thought it'd be a little bit different, and it was. Probably a little bit more calm playing here in Philadelphia. Bumped by Colin McDonald. Grossman there to help out his defense mate. Now it's fired across ice by Voracek to Hartnell. Hartnell will play it across to Voracek. Voracek lost control to the corner. Turns with it and finds Giroux. Fires wide. Now Grossman in front looking for Voracek. He was tied up by McDonald. Bailey a chance to clear. He could not. Giroux knocks it down. Lays it back toward the net. Poulin will set it up for Andrew McDonald. And the Islanders looking to start up the ice. Alan McDonald tips that one ahead to Nielsen. Nielsen with a pass. Bailey in. Save Mason. And he'll cover up. Steve Mason continues to shine.
Timely's the word, and Josh Bailey continues to be frustrated. It's been a while since he scored a goal, and Mason makes sure that he doesn't get one here after some nice work from the New York Islanders on the breakout and a beautiful backhand feed from Frans Nielsen. But look at Mason, just sitting in the right position to keep that one out.
And Josh Bailey's going to kind of swoop in front of Mason, and he's going to hope Mason goes with him, and then he's going to come back the other way to look for that corner. But Mason stayed right there and didn't get fooled by that move.
Bailey 13 straight without a goal. Right off the draw, blast by Vanek did not make it through all kinds of traffic. And Reed will move it to center. Hall back to Reed with a step cutting in. Fired it high off the glass. And Reed is flying out there. Here is Couturier. Couturier tucking it back down low for Reed. 12 seconds in the period. Reed on the boards. Tried to fire it toward the net. Went behind the cage instead. Couturier centers off Poulin's stick. Oposo jamming and it bounces back in on goal. And Poulin had to be alert to knock it down.
Skating's the key, isn't it? These guys are just absolutely flying up the ice, and then when they're in the offensive zone, they're jumping on pucks quickly and getting them to the net. Matt Reed, what a job on the rush there as he shakes his head. He had an opportunity to try to go upstairs on Poulin, and he goes one end to the other, and he's thinking goal the whole way. It's Vanek trying to cover him. Good luck with that as he just blows past Kartner and then tries to elevate the puck, but just gets too much of it.
They'll drop the puck to the right of Poulin with 2.4 on the clock. They can't quite get control of the draw, and there's the horn ending period number one. So neither team able to put the puck in the net. As Kevin Poulin had 10 saves at one end, and Steve Mason 10 saves at the other end of the ice. Tonight's Flyers-Islanders first period was brought to you by Mazda. We believe if it's not worth driving, it's not worth building. By Powerback Rehabilitation. And by Supercuts. Check out supercuts.com to find a convenient salon location near you. Rock the cuts at Supercuts. You look at the ice time leaders, that's a lot of minutes for Hamonic, who also played a lot of minutes last night. So watch for fatigue perhaps for the Islander defenseman there. Pretty even distribution for the Flyers.
Yeah, McDonald did not play most of last night after taking a shot off the hand in the first period. Did come back in the third period, though, and that's great news for Jack Capuano. His two best defensemen out there an awful lot in that first period, and the Flyers, as you say, JJ, are going to have to try to work those two guys. They're both physical guys, and Jack Capuano rewards them with a lot of ice time for their strong play.
Jack Capuano's club has been very potent in the second period. 34 second period goals this year. That's the most in the NHL. They scored 13 in the third period, right near the bottom. Doesn't make any sense.
Amazing.
But, you look at those standings that we alluded to, and it's still really tightly packed. As you can see, from really two through 8, 6 points separating 7 teams. Flyers with a win could jump into a tie with the Rangers if they would lose in regulation tonight. And the top 3 automatically make the playoffs, and then the wild card teams, the top 2 teams from then in the conference between the Metropolitan Division and the Atlantic Division would go. And right now, both of those teams would be in the Atlantic Division, so you might have to make it all the way up to 3rd in the Metro.
The Devils have done an outstanding job of late since the Flyers went in there and kept them to just 14 shots on goal. All of a sudden, they've found some ways to get some offense going. A lot of it has to do with Patrick Elias getting back in the lineup, and they have really done a nice job building off some of the star play from Jaromir Jagr.
Glad to be back with you on the Comcast Network. Apologize for some of our earlier difficulties. This remains a scoreless game. You did not miss a goal, I'll tell you that much, as the second period is underway. There's Vanek, trying to get wide of the net of Steve Mason. And Poso kept it in, but right to Couturier. Couturier from the red line hooks it into the Islander zone. Bruin will play it back to the boards. There's Couturier on it. Couturier checked by Hamonic. Reed comes in. Reed back to Couturier. He is checked again. The puck ricochets right back. Go for a shot. Save rebound. They score! Matt Reed jumping on the rebound. And he rips it past Poulin. Flyers lead 1-0. Reed is 3rd in 2 games. Scores for a case of Tasty Cake.
Once again, that line working as a line. 3 guys in on the forecheck. Couturier battling with Hamonic right there. Reed in perfect position, backing him up. Stays with that puck, wins the battle. Downey in a good position, causes a turnover. Shot, save, and another shot by Reed, and it's in the net.
What a save Poland's going to make on Couturier, and he just can't recover. He's actually moving in the wrong direction. Then Reed, with the rebound coming right onto his stick, he's got a wide open net. You're not going to miss those. And he buried it. That's the other thing. He buried it. That wasn't just a little bit of a wrist shot. He leaned into it to score that goal rather.
There's Josh Bailey back in center for the Islanders. Played it to Martinic, who bounces it to the Philadelphia zone. Mark Streit has it there. So this will be the 3rd goal in the last 2 games in which all 3 members of the line register points. Reed getting the goal all 3 times.
And we talked about how important it would be for the Flyers to get on the 2 top Islander defensemen, Hamonic and Andrew McDonald, and they do exactly that in the first shift of the second period.
Brock Nelson, youngster for the Islanders, moving up with a shot. Mason accepts that one into the crest of his jersey and hangs right on.
Rebound control, outstanding once again for Mason, and Matt Reed continues to have the hot hand. Couple of goals against Buffalo, and picks up his 7th of the season here, and another quick wrist shot. Second period goals, both of them against Buffalo, and a 3rd one here tonight.
I think he's reaping the benefits of a guy like Downey, who's now back after his concussion problems, and Sean Couturier that's just playing so much better. He's skating, he's moving his feet, he's doing all the right things, and certainly benefit off that original shot by Couturier on that goal.
Flyers get the puck back after losing the draw. And they move up with it. Here is Simmons. Simmons, a shot! Scores! Wayne Simmons beating Poland. And once again, the Flyers with goals in rapid succession. They now have a 2-0 lead. Simmons scores for a case of Tasty Cake.
Some good work in the defensive zone. Off the wall there, it's Braden Shen that starts it. Gustafsson jumps up. LeCavallier's in perfect position and goes to the net. Simmons gets that shot towards the goal, but has a nice screen by LeCavallier to go with it.
And if you ever notice, there's only 4 guys for the Islanders and 4 guys for the Philadelphia Flyers. At the other end of the ice, Luke Shen and Brock Nelson. I think half the building were watching them, figuring out that they were going to drop the gloves. As that happened, as they were still behind the goal line, here come the Flyers with a great rush, and LeCavalier does such a great job. Center goes as Rosehill now having a conversation with Bolden, and Jimmy, you were right. They're going to go at it sooner or later.
Well, the guys in striped shirts are going to try to prevent it appears, Coatsy, but good luck.
No, they got no chance.
Once the puck's in play, well, now Bolton is going to move over and he'll line up next to Zach Rinaldo, and the 236s will have a conversation.
Yeah, for now, and then they'll come back the other way, and they'll be going at it.
Well, the Flyers really probably have no interest in a fight right now.
Nope.
They have all the momentum, and the fight can only turn the momentum. Here is Adam Hall flipping one that It was off of Rosehill and then bounces to the corner. Rosehill could not get it back to the point. And the Islanders move up. 59 seconds separate the two Flyer goals. Reed is seventh. Simmons is fourth, his third in the last 4 games. The Flyers have a 2-0 lead. Rosehill checks straight to the puck. Cavalier and Gustafson with the helpers on that goal by Simmons. Although without a helmet now. Adam Hall will play the puck into the Islanders zone. Hickey is there. Came out to center, brought back in offside by Hall.
Good decision by Jay Rosehill not to fight in that shift. You don't want to try to change the momentum in the favor of the New York Islanders. And there's the play on the rush. Some terrific passing through the neutral zone, and Wayne Simmons is able to snap that puck past Poulin. Gets it under the stick of Andrew McDonald. And both Hamonic and McDonald on the ice again for the second Flyers goal this period.
And LeCavier not only goes to the net, he acted as the screen.
Yeah, perfect timing as he passed right in front of the goaltender. Here's Downey. Downey trying to get that puck down low to Couturier, but it was broken up. Couturier absorbs the hit, get the puck to Reed. For Downey, Reed got knocked down behind the net. Reed, though, still gets him the puck. Matt Reed, Downey cuts to the middle. Reed gets it back out. Timonen sailing one wide. Bounce behind that. Reed is there. A loose stick on the ice. Reed throwing the puck back. Now Downey back in front, but he glanced off of Poulin, I believe, and then away from the intended receiver. Go into the Philadelphia zone where Vanek will play it across ice for Tavares. Tavares makes a nice cut, but then lost control of the puck. There's a hook by Vanek on Couturier.
You already made the call. That's a good call.
It has been called. It took a while for the arm to go up, but eventually it did. And the Flyers now, with a 2-goal lead, will get a power play.
Can be frustrating to play against Sean Couturier, especially when he's forcing you to play in your own zone. It's not where top-line players want to be. Vanek gets a penalty in the Flyers' end here, but Couturier is the guy that draws it. The Flyers get a power play opportunity because of the strong work from their checking line.
Watch Couturier and Vanek. Now Vanek is right there. As Couturier takes him right into the zone. Maybe got a little bit of a left hand on it, but it doesn't make any difference. He had position.
So now the Flyers looking to add to their lead. Andrew McDonald went down. He's holding his face right now and staying on the ice. Here is Timonen with a pass to Voracek. Voracek right back to Kimo. Fakes the pass one way and drops it back to Jake. Voracek looking in the middle. Doesn't see anything. Goes back out to Timonen. Now Giroux. There's a shot deflects to Voracek, who spun it back in a goal. Now pass in front goes to Giroux. He scores! The captain's on the board. Power play goal, 3-0 Flyers. Giroux scores for a case of Tasty Cake.
We're not even 4 minutes into the second period, and the Flyers have 3 goals. Outstanding job of getting pucks to the net and creating traffic issues for the New York Islanders. Outstanding play by Voracek to spin it towards the net, and there's Giroux to clean it up with a terrific one-time blast.
Poulin can only go from post to post so quickly, and right here you see him. He made the one save, came back across, then tried to fire across the goal crease, but no way in the world. Watch Giroux. There's no way you're going to make that save, as he got all of it coming off of the circle. That is nailed, ladies and gentlemen. Nailed.
And Claude Giroux has ended the evening, apparently, of one Kevin Poulin. That is Anders Nielsen, who has replaced Poulin between the pipes for the Islanders, seeing his first NHL action of this season, his 5th NHL game overall. And the Flyers are going to go right back to the power play, apparently, as Andrew McDonald is sitting in the box, guilty of unsportsmanlike conduct.
He was not happy about getting clipped in the face, and we saw him lifting his hand up to his face just prior to Simmons making that outstanding pass to Claude Giroux. And I'm not sure if he gets a 10-minute misconduct or a 2-minute minor.
It's going to be minor. And Jack Capuano and Dougie Waite, the assistant coach, were absolutely all over Don Van Massenhoven, the referee, but Van Massenhoven said, hey, listen, we're not going to let that happen. Let's take a look.
Here's what he was angry about. Scott Hartnell clips him in the face there. And Hartnell gets away with one there, and the Flyers end up picking up the power play goal and also get Andrew McDonald back in the box.
That's a big break, no doubt about it. Kind of breaks the Flyers weren't getting in October, but they've been getting them in November.
You earn your breaks.
Vice versa for the Islanders. Here's LeCavalier. 3 in the books on the board for the Flyers already. Look for a fourth. Scored with 3 in just 3 minutes and 2 seconds. Game action. Here's Reed. All the way across the Cavalier. One-timer block. Oh, down in the heap goes Hickey. He is just getting to his skates. Play is carrying on. Hickey is trying to make his way to the Islander bench, and finally they're going to blow play dead as Hickey needs some help.
Van Massenhoven's going to make that call. He's allowed to make that call according to what he feels the severity of the injury, and Hickey was hurting. He was lucky to get up, and no matter how much equipment you got, that stings, Josie.
Yeah, that's that one-time blast that we've seen so often from Vinny LeCavalier, right off the knee there. And no question about it, Hickey in a lot of pain, and the referee makes the right call by blowing the whistle to make sure the Islanders can get their player off the ice.
Flyers get control. Tom Baumgartner, Langhorn. McDonald's power play payoff contested. Flyers scoring on their last bad advantage. They're jackpot at 25. Voracek stopped at the line. Simmons will take over. Simmons and Voracek with the helpers on that goal by Giroux. Here's Voracek, a burst of speed. They'll take it around behind the net. Backed up by Kartner. Could have been a penalty. Here's Simmons laying it to Giroux. Giroux to Timonen. Quick pass to Voracek all the way across for Giroux. That's denied by Grabner. And now back across ice. Voracek has it. One hands it ahead for Simmons, who pass was too hot to handle for Giroux. Now it's Grabner the other way, and he's got help with Nielsen. Grabner moving up. Waits, line, fires! Save Mason with a stick. Timonen gets to the puck. And outlets Voracek. Voracek with a pass that's tipped ahead of Giroux deep into the zone. 6 straight games now for the Flyers. The power play goal, that power play that was having so much trouble. Now 7 for its last 21. That's 33.3%.
Good math by...
Not really. Here's Ronaldo, stopped at the Islander line. Back Ronaldo out. There's the power play. It's run its course. Colin McDonald wins the race for the puck in the Philadelphia zone. Cizikas, hard-working player for the Islanders. Pass that could not be handled by Bailey. Colin McDonald gets to it. Grossman wraps his man up. Flyers have it. And Couturier will clear the zone. It goes all the way down, but it'll settle. There's no icing here. Hamonic has to plant. Ronaldo takes him into the wall. Now the puck out to center and off Bailey's stick to the Philadelphia Islanders. Did all that, but got it out to center. And now in the neutral zone, played by the Islanders. 6.5 into this second period. Drew tried to get himself onside there, but failed. It is offside. But it's been a good period for the Flyers. First Reed, then Simmons, followed by Giroux. 3-0 Flyers.
Flyers lead the New York Islanders 3-0 as we're close to the midway point of the second period. But let's take a look at our Geico quote. Luke Shannon talking about solid team defense. I think everyone overall is committed to playing defense. The forwards are coming back and doing it hard as helping out we as defensemen. Also, the goaltending hasn't been too bad either. He has said, yeah, it's great. No kidding, it's great.
Quite a turnaround. Flyers trying to finish off this homestand. They'll have to be road warriors for quite a while. 8 of their next 9 on the road, 16 of their next 21 away from the Wells Fargo Center. They'll play in 11 or 12 different states, 3 different provinces of Canada over that stretch. Reed gets the puck to Timonen and deeper into the Islander zone. Abbott taken off the puck by Couturier, who is now playing some great hockey. He'll flip it back to Reed. Reed off the wall with it. Reed still holds on. His pass rolls and skips and bounces to Coburn. Coburn will just fire it, and he finds his man. Down low, but then trying to slide that in front was Downing. It was blocked, and the Islanders with a chance in transition. It's 3-on-2. Here is Oposo. Takes a look, but his shot deflected on a play.
See everybody back? Everybody is back. It's unbelievable.
Back,
Downey was the first guy there to lose the puck. He was all the way back.
And that line has been doing it at both ends of the ice. Matt Reed tonight at the chance there goes off the goalpost. Here at the end of the first period, showing that great skating ability and elusiveness. Just elevates that puck a little too high. Second period, gets his opportunity. It's on his stick for about a split second. and it's in the back of the net. Outstanding work from all three guys on that line.
Yeah, if at first you don't succeed, try again. He is part of a line that is obviously playing great hockey. Now Nielsen breaks his stick. Flyers get the puck as Simmons will get to Luke Schenn. Luke Schenn throws it into the Islanders zone. He hit his stick, rolls to Nielsen. And he's going to hang on. And there's Nielsen, the big goaltender from Lilja, Sweden.
Partner trying to stir the pot a little bit. His team down, trying to get Simmons and Schenn going.
Simmons showed some great hands when he scored a goal early, and you can see how the Flyers turned that strong defensive play into a goal. It's mathematical. 5 guys back for the Philadelphia Flyers, 2 Islanders in on the puck, and when it's turned over, 4 Flyers heading up the ice together. Perfect spacing, outstanding job by Gustafsson, who was the puck carrier, and getting it to the most dangerous area, the middle of the ice. Lecavalier moves it and drives to the net. Simmons fires quickly and uses Lecavalier for a screen. Textbook.
Off the draw, shot by Streit went just wide. Teaneck, Bolton, and then back around for Andrew McDonald. They'll find Bolton. Just over 8 minutes into this second period. A lot of hockey to be played here. Flyers have to finish what they've started here. Bolton in. Plays it around to Matt Martin, the hits leader in the NHL. He's led the league in hits each of the last 2 seasons and has the lead again this year. Andrew McDonald to the puck. Off the stick of Bolton deep into the Philadelphia zone. Martin hunting a hit right here, but Mason plays the puck. It bounces off of Ronaldo and Hall back to Zach. Ronaldo to the red line. Check there. Hall comes over to tie up Vanek, but then the puck taken by Cizikas. Cizikas dropping it off for Vanek. Vanek swerving, goes back across ice. Hamonic shot blocked. That went off of Nick Grossman all the way out to center ice. The shots block leader for the Flyers. Flyers trying to change here. Donovan will try to take advantage of that. Young defenseman moving up from the angle. His shot went into the slot. Here's Okposo. Save Mason. Now Okposo right to center. Got it out to Donovan and was off a skate. Flyers fumbling the puck, but now Downey gets it to Reed, and there's that speed again. And Reed slams on the brakes, just tucks it down low. Downey will chase. Deals with 2 Islanders, and then got some help from Reed. Now it's Downey again. Centering it. It goes off a stick of the skate and is played by Vanek to Okposo. Now Okposo moving up, trying to make the maneuver on Coburn. Coburn stays with him, then the pass, dribbles through, shot! Mason the save on Vanek. Couturier the other way, sidesteps a check. Sean Couturier across the line, waits, looks, and finds his man Downey. Downey holds, fires, and that goes off a stick to the corner. Scott Hartnell to the puck and plays it back. Timonen was going off.
That was really close. Gustafsson was over the boards. Then both of them realized, hey, Gus, you got to get back on the board.
Voracek centers, tipped just wide by Giroux. Hartnell gets to the puck. Knocked down from behind, and then Timonen came in, got a piece of the puck, but the Islanders have it and play it all the way down. This will be icing. Oh, they wave it off. They say Mason went to play the puck. Well, the reason he went to play the puck is no one blowing the whistle. It's one of those things with the hybrid icing. Now it's Giroux flying up. Giroux centering. Voracek got his stick in there. Nilsson was there, and the puck goes the other way. Here's Colin McDonald pushing it past Gustafsson. Gustafsson takes him out. That's a penalty. They'll call it interference. Gustafsson will go to the box. Islanders to the power play.
3-0, the Flyers lead the Islanders. We're going to take a look at our Timberland great hits of the week. And you know what? You've got to be able to be ready as you see Zetlitsky with the big hit there along the wall. Kuhlman of the Toronto Maple Leafs just rubs out his opponent. And look at this one. Yes, that's Teddy Nolan's son with the Los Angeles Kings. He's a big boy, and he got all. As we take a look at the hit leaders for the Philadelphia Flyers, Zach Ronaldo with 76, and Luke Schenn and Nick Grossman with 61 apiece.
There's the penalty to Eric Gustafsson right there. Interference as McDonald had just pushed the puck past him, and Van Massenhoven making the call there, and the Flyers shorthanded for the first time.
Indeed. Second half of regulation time before the Islanders get their first power play of this game. And the penalty kill has struggled for the Flyers here of late. 2 struggling units, actually. Let's see which one can be successful. Andrew McDonald across to Frans Nielsen. Now it's Tavares. Tavares has a look. Back out to Nielsen. It hops on, but he keeps it in the zone. Back to Tavares. His shot, and that's batted away by Mason. May have changed direction in the way. And Timonen will tip it ahead, and Hall will clear it all the way down. There are the overall numbers. Islanders, as we said, they were first in the league when these teams met on October the 26th, now 21st. And the Flyers were up in the top 10 in the penalty kill not too long ago, but it dropped to 18th as Nielsen gets to Okposo. Now it's McDonald to Tavares and back to Andrew McDonald. Tavares looks to the middle, fires it, deflected, batted out of there. Now it's Nielsen. And he hits the referee, but Okposo is there, centers, goes off a skate, turning with it, and clearing is Zach Ronaldo.
See the position of Ronaldo? He didn't get too deep, made sure that he was halfway between the area in front of the net and to the guy at the defending at the blue line. In perfect position to be able to get that puck.
There's McDonald moving up. Gets it past Luke Shen. Grossman rotates over. Has two Islanders to deal with. Now three. And they get the puck away. Clutterbuck back out to Hamonic. Across. Grabner. Back to Hamonic. Has to play it off the boards. Down low for Bailey. Bailey centering. And it was tipped and went past. Islander in front. Nelson all the way down the ice.
That was Mason getting his stick in the passing lane there. A heads-up play by Steve Mason, helping his penalty killers alleviate some pressure.
12 seconds remaining on the power play. Mason will glove that one and hang right on to it.
Well, college students and military personnel can get tickets to Flyers home games at a great rate. Just show your student or military ID at the Wells Fargo Center box office on the day of each Flyers home game, and come on out and join us for some fun.
It has been fun for the Flyers of late, that's for sure. They're gunning for their fourth straight home ice win here. They win the draw. Coburn clears it all the way down, and that will go in on Nielsen, and it takes care of the Islander power play. So the Islanders now 0 for their last 23 against the Flyers. That covers 8+ games, which they have been unable to score on the power play against the Flyers. Here is Colin McDonald, twisting and turning, gets it back out. Hamonic with a shot into traffic. Now Matt Martin to it. Gustafson couldn't come up with it. Colin McDonald trying to get away from Coburn. Now McDonald muscling his way in front for a shot that went wide. He got away from Coburn. Now back out to Hamonic. Haven't been many forays like this in the offensive zone for the Islanders, but the Flyers get the puck here. Simmons did not clear. Instead of getting it out of the zone, he went with that pass, and now it's McDonald in the slot. Simmons makes up for it as he breaks up that play and deflects the puck to the neutral zone.
That's what you want to do when you turn that puck over. Find a way to get back and get it out of there, and Simmons does exactly that.
On Thanksgiving morning, high school football is on the Comcast Network. Watch local high school athletes battle on the gridiron, Northeast versus Central. Thanksgiving morning at 10 only on the Comcast Network. Great tradition here in Philadelphia. Thanksgiving Day high school football.
Islanders with some tired legs out here. Giroux out in the ice as Craig Berube alertly gets his captain out, and we'll see if they can take advantage of some tired Islander legs.
They win the draw. Voracek's shot, though, is smothered by Vanek. And now it bounces right to the line. Gustafson to Voracek with a shot that went wide. Giroux over there. Now behind for Hartnell. Bodied by Martinek. Holds it around looking for Giroux out of his reach. And Giroux jams it back into the corner. Matt Donovan takes a look. He's got some time. He'll play it up the wall, but turned it over to Giroux. Giroux spins it down low. Donovan cuts in, but then is checked. Late skating again by the Flyers in the forecheck there. Where the Islanders turned, they had to deal with a guy in an orange jersey. Now Voracek will just redirect in as the Flyers look for a change. Nielsen, since entering the game, I'm not sure he's faced a shot. Look out here, Vanek moving up. Vanek holds on, centers, and Tavares scores. Flyers got caught on a change, and Tavares able to score. And it is a 3-1 game as the Flyers have given up an even strength goal for the first time in their last 6 games.
The good hands people on this play. Vanek and Tavares, outstanding job as they go one end to the other. Watch the play by Thomas Vanek. Saucer pass, perfectly placed for Tavares to pick up on his backhand and deposit into a wide open net.
And the Flyers on that change, so the Islanders stretch the ice. Vanek was already at the blue line, and then right there puts the brakes on. He's got Tavares off the far pipe. Shen nearly got to him, but not in time as Tavares is so good and close, like we talked earlier. So Vanek and Tavares hook up to get the Islanders on the board, the 10th of the year for John Tavares.
Double figures now for the Islanders captain, and second in the NHL in points. Vanek, Donovan with the assist. That's icing against the Islanders right there.
The Islanders can open things up offensively. We watched it last night against the Pittsburgh Penguins. They were down scores of 2-0 and 3-1 and managed to get that game tied, and took a late goal by Sidney Crosby to get the Penguins the win at home. Flyers have to be careful they don't get in a run and gun game here and continue to play strong defensive hockey and don't take any chances.
Right, a shot up the draw, deflected and went just wide. They need to get pucks on Nielsen too. They have not really tested the big goaltender since he's come in to replace Kevin Poole. Straight with a pass there for Simmons. Wayne Simmons picked up his 99th NHL assist earlier in this game. Dumps that puck in. Now Clutterbuck to it though. The Flyers come back. Now as Clutterbuck moves up, his shot off of Mason bounces back toward the quarter. Gustafsson moves it to Braden Shen, who could not get it past Martinic, nor Nelson. Nelson will throw it around behind Philadelphia net. Streit has it. Less than 5 minutes to play in this second period. And the Flyers have it. Streit, just as he was going to fire that puck in, it rolled on him. So now Gustafsson has to play it at the Philadelphia line. Back to Streit, but they're working themselves into some difficulty here. Gustafsson, in some traffic, will play it around to Rosehill. He didn't get his stick out, and here's Nielsen. Nielsen spinning it down all the way around it goes. Flyers need a clear here. Ronaldo checked by Hamonic, and Nielsen is there with support as he keeps it in to Bailey. Down to the other side of the ice, Rosehill after it. He missed it, but on the second try, it bounces off of him to LeCavalier, who couldn't clear it. Rosehill with good determination gets it out to the neutral zone. Now it's LeCavalier with the puck from the blue line, fires in the save made by Nielsen. But look out, a long stretch pass to Bailey. Bailey with room. Well, he tried a spinorama move, lost the puck, and then got buried by Rosehill. He has the puck, and he'll play it deep into the Islander zone. Curry in on the forecheck. Ronaldo to the puck. Ronaldo back to the point. Timonen shot high and wide all the way out toward Vanek. Doesn't get there though as Ronaldo will find Reed. Reed going to get away from Tavares. Puck back to the quarter. Here's Coburn shuttling it around for Reed. Pursued by McDonald. Popped it back behind the net, but Tavares is all over that. His pass up the middle, knocked down by Couturier. They say it was out to center and back in offside.
3-1, the Flyers lead the New York Islanders. Who's got the best one-timer in the National Hockey League? Maybe that man right there. Benny LeCavalier, he's in his office and watches. He's going to let this shot go, and Tom Hickey, the defenseman, well, he gets himself in kind of a precarious position. He gets sideways on him, and he had to be helped off the ice by Don Van Massenhoven, the referee, and LeCavalier, like we had just talked about. Does he have the best one-timer? Boy, he can let that one go, as we've seen so many times, both as a Flyer and as a Tampa Bay Lightning.
Not many left-handed shots as good as his. I think of the righties, Stamkos, Ovechkin, Tyler Seguin, and some of those guys, but for left-handed shooters, I'm not sure that there's many that shoot it as hard as Vinny, if any.
He can't wait to get rid of that shield. He's probably less than a week away from that happening as Steve Downey moves up. Downey cutting the middle, quick shot! Save Nielsen. Rebound all the way out to Tavares though, and back the other way he goes. Tavares holding on, back across ice looking for a Poso. Poso overtaken by Couturier. Couturier so strong on the puck with that heavy stick. Take it away from the best of them, and he did right there. He takes a hit from Parkner, but right there to help him is Downey, and now Downey and Couturier doing the hard work in the corner. Downey looking for an open man, finds Reed. Reed to Grossman across for Streit. His shot off the mark. And now it's Reed battling on the wall. Look at the shot count, which is relatively even in this game. And here's Reed down low. They move it in front, backhanded wide by Couturier. And again, this line forcing the Tavares line to spend a lot of his shift in the defensive zone. Streit back to get it. Grossman to Voracek. Out Reed, he was headed to the bench in favor of an extra attacker, or in favor of a line change, I should say, as Nelson will play it into the Philadelphia zone. The Islanders wanted too many men on the ice there, but I don't think they had too many men. In fact, they might have had 1, 2, few for a little while. There's a shot from the point, deflects wide. Now Grabner from the side of the net is denied. Grabner centers it back out in front and it deflects wide. Islanders buzzing here, trying to get within one. Straight up the wall for Voracek. He redirects it to Hartnell. Cross ice pass for Giroux is in his skates. Play was offside, doesn't matter. Islanders moving up with it. Hamonic in across the line. Tried to center, blocked by Grossman. Second try off of Mason. Loose puck. No whistle yet, and now play is blown dead.
Well, let's take a look at our Wells Fargo great check of the game. We showed you some other checks from around the National Hockey League. Well, look at Jay Rosehill. I love these open ice checks. Yes, sir. Don't dare put your head down, because guys like Rosehill are going to be there to take it off. And Josh Bailey took that one as he was trying to get up and out of the zone. You see the hits right there.
That's rare for the Flyers to be out hit.
Yeah, that is rare.
The Islanders do pile up hits. They're led by Matt Martin and Cal Clutterbuck. Cizikas also very frequent in the hits category. Flyers move on. The Islanders keep them to the outside, but Schenn able to center to Simmons. Simmons to the backhand, and it's denied in front. Bounces side of the net, and then squirts free to Braden Schenn. Schenn checked and lost it. And Callum McDonald will move it back the other way to Bailey. Swings wide to the left wing. Bailey for Nielsen. He was tightly marked, but it bounces to Callum McDonald. A diving pass back out. Donovan shot, save, rebound. Nielsen poked it wide. Islanders, since they scored, have a different kind of drive right now. And they're making life difficult for Steve Mason and the Flyers. 48 seconds remaining in the period, and that's iced. Oh no, it's going to spin and come to a stop. Look at that. So no icing. Flyers trying to change. Islanders move the puck ahead to Tavares. Tavares, ridden by Downey. Downey lost his stick. He's trying to get it back. Tavares in front. Fired it wide. Now Gustafsson will play it up the wall, but right there is Donovan. Donovan then turned it over, but Reed couldn't clear. Here's Tavares turning with it. Got it down low. Vanek side of the net. Taken off by Gustafsson. Oposo comes in, centers it. It deflects. And then Couturier played it across ice. It does make its way to center ice. 10 seconds in the period. Tavares right back to Vanek. Makes the maneuver on Schenn. Backhands. That goes off of Mason to the corner. Hamonic after it, and time will run out on the second period. Islanders with the momentum as the period comes to an end. Flyers early. They scored 3 goals, separated by 3 minutes and 2 seconds. Simmons among the goal scorers. Reed also potting one. Giroux scored. And then Tavares got one back for the Islanders, and they pressed the Flyers late. 3-1 through 2. Tonight's Flyers-Islanders second period was brought to you by Kia. To learn more, visit kia.com. Also brought to you by the Pennsylvania Lottery. Tonight's Powerball jackpot now has an estimated annuity of $50 million. So play today. Pennsylvania Lottery proceeds benefit older Pennsylvanians. Players must be 18 or older in order to participate. Wayne Simmons with Steve Coates. Third period on the Comcast Network is brought to you by your Philadelphia Super Network Buick GMC dealers. And by McDonald's. Now McDonald's any size, iced coffee, or sweet tea is just $1. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Flyers had scored but 11 goals in the second period this season. Coming into tonight, they get 3 tonight, though, and have a 3-1 lead. There are your Sugar House Casino statistics.
Power play comes up big again for the Flyers. Claude Giroux with the goal. 17 missed shots. The Islanders have done a good job of getting in the shooting lanes. And it's an area the Flyers want to get more pucks on goal here in the third period. Islanders start to get some momentum after that late goal.
There's the breakdown of the scoring. Those 3 goals separated by just 3 minutes and 2 seconds for the Flyers. Tavares, the first even strength goal against the Flyers in 6 games. Pretty remarkable stuff. If they had made it through this game, Jonesy, it would have been the first time in franchise history they had done that.
Would have been remarkable. And there's a look at Wayne Simmons. You can get flyered up for the holidays at the Fan Zone, powered by Reebok. Get savings of up to 30% off starting at 6 a.m. on Black Friday. For complete Black Friday sale details, visit philadelphiaflyers.com/Black Friday. Get an early start on your shopping and you can see the exclusive items that are available for you. If you show up early, you get some good deals.
Here, yeah, for sure. It will be a great day here on Black Friday for sure. Let's check out Twitter, shall we? Some of the comments about this game tonight. They like Sean Couturier's play. You can't leave the room, Meg Marie. You just can't do it. You got to stay on the couch for sure.
Not against these Islanders. They're feisty.
You know how fans are, Coach. I'm sure you are like this, or are like this when you're watching a sporting event and have a rooting interest for some reason or another. If it's going well, you don't want anything to change, right?
No, you just got. But I was kind of interested in the fact that she could have said she went to the kitchen, but she was on it. That she went to the bathroom.
Well, nature does call from time to time. But she's got to stay on the couch the rest of this game. She's been ordered.
And Coach, he has to stay between the benches.
He does. He doesn't have a choice.
I got nowhere to go.
Here's Andrew McDonald back. Couturier steals the puck. We'll play it to Downey as this matchup continues. The Tavares line against the Couturier line. Downey, another steal. Somehow controls that puck. He's being hooked a little there. Still moves the puck to Reed. Reed tripped up by Tavares. No call. Wow, Tavares perhaps getting a break there, but Reed steals the puck again and plays it around behind the net. Now Downey. He just pushes it along. Couturier protecting the puck. Plays it back out. Coburn a shot that goes wide in net. Now Reed steals the puck yet again. He's on his way to the bench as he just plays it back and Hamonic takes over. So there it was, the matchup we've talked about, and the Couturier line spent the entire shift in the offensive zone.
Some great work there, and the Flyers should have headed for the power play after some of the great work by Matt Reed and forcing the Islanders to take him down.
Voracek to Hartnell, and he was tied up before he could get his shot off.
Yeah, that was a heck of a play by Voracek because he had to go from backhand to forehand to get that puck right onto the stick of Hartnell.
Hartnell has it back to Luke Schenn. Fires one off a body wide. Nielsen to it. Great Dane is checked and Hartnell takes the puck away. Luke Schenn right back in along for Hartnell. Marked by Nielsen. Nielsen tips the puck away. And now Martinek will just lob one towards center. It was off Gustafson's glove. It's played by Josh Bailey. And for the first time, the puck goes into the Philadelphia zone, and we're almost 2 minutes into the period. Luke Schenn to Wayne Simmons. Simmons banking it for Lecavalier, and he'll send it in. It's Clutterbuck to play it along to Brock Nelson. It's Matt Karchner, now Andrew McDonald in the middle. Clutterbuck moving well. Clutterbuck holds on, fires, and the stick save by Mason. Now Grabner for Nelson, overtaken by Simmons, who will play it diagonally out of the zone. Back to get it is McDonald. And he is pestered there by Braden Schenn. Islanders do move it up. Here's Grabner. Head manning to Nelson. Nelson, it's the move and the shot, and the save made by Mason. He'll hang on.
Tricky move there and a nice save by Mason. Here's some of that hard work in the opening shift of this period. The Couturier line doing some good hard hustle here in the offensive zone. It's Downey that starts it, uses the wall here, keeps it on his forehand, chips it in. There's the rotation for Reed, and there's the non-call on Tavares right there. Islanders get away with one, but the Flyers want to see that type of work here in the third period from a line that's been providing a ton of it.
Off the draw, Cizikas got it in front and they score! Right off the face-off, it's Eric Bolton with a goal. His first of the year, he breaks a 72-game goalless drought and he makes it a one-goal game. It's 3-2.
Flyers have been very good in face-off situations, and the Islanders turn the tables here against Adam Hall, who's been outstanding. Cizikas makes a smart move, a set play, and Bolton goes to the far post and is rewarded with the touch pass there to the net.
Cizikas is definitely going to fool Adam Hall. He's just going to slip that puck right through his legs. Then it has the ability to be able to go to Bolton. Look at Bolton. Nobody picked him up. Rosehill comes a little late. But Bolton, as Josie said, it's a set play. So he's going to go to that far pipe and hope that he's going to be able to get that pass, which he did get.
Adam Hall had won 47 of his last 56 faceoffs. Couldn't win that one, and now the Islanders right back in looking to tie this thing. Nelson's shot was blocked, and Brayden Schenn will go across ice to Wayne Simmonds. Simmonds tips the puck in and then chases and gets to it. They get to LeCavalier, and now he'll center for Brayden Schenn, whose shot is smothered and then hung on to by the big goaltender, Anders Nilsson.
It's the way you want to come back at him. Wayne Simmonds started that potential opportunity, and Simmonds throughout this game has been all over the puck in the offensive zone. He finds a loose puck there, he fires the backhand, helps Kimmo Timonen out here. This was going to go out of the ice surface, but Simmonds gets his stick up high and avoids a delay of game penalty, comes down the ice and buries the goal there from Vinny LeCavalier. That line continues to provide offense, and we almost get one here.
Right off the draw, Coburn firing away, now Couturier. Puck go the other way. Coburn digs it off the wall, flips, but that's blocked. Vanek was about to head toward the Philadelphia zone. He was stopping. Now here's Tavares to Vanek. Vanek holding on, winds, set it wide all the way through. The Flyers are there. Couturier outletting Downey. Downey all by himself, so he'll take the shot, and it finds glass. And then Couturier stuffing it back around behind the net. There's Downey. Downey changing direction on Andrew McDonald. Turns again. But his pass tipped by Tavares. Timonen tried to pinch. It's poked past him, but Couturier reaches back and gets to it for Philadelphia. And plays it right back in. Flyers will change, as do the Islanders. We approach the 4-minute mark of this third period. The Islanders down at 1.3-0, back within one. Flyers get the puck in here. Hartnell with a step. Hartnell cutting in front, and he's stopped. The puck winds up in the net. The net up off its moorings. The whistle blew. And no definitive call from the referee right here. He just points. Kevin Pollock did not really make a call there. I think he's saying no goal as the puck did wind up in the net.
Yeah, the net's going to pop up here, and the puck is going to go under the side of the net right there.
Right there, yeah.
And underneath. So that will be no goal. And from Coates's angle, it looked like one, didn't it?
It did, because it came back out towards the goal line. I figured it slid because with Nilsson where he was, I couldn't see the puck until all of a sudden it was right on the goal line.
Well, they're going to review it, but obviously
No,
we can see that it goes in through the side right as the net comes up.
It's the right play by Hartnell to drive to the net. Martinic makes contact with them, and you can see both players cause the net to become dislodged temporarily. It sneaks underneath there. It didn't even come off the moorings, but that will be no goal. As you can see, it went through the side.
Now there's the part I saw. You can see that puck come right up towards the goal line after it come through the back, or it came through the back, and then out towards the goal line.
The puck take goes by the side of the net, therefore no goal.
All the players, Flyers included, were ready for the face-off to the right of Anders Nilsson. Everybody knew that was not a goal, so the face-off here in the Islanders zone. Remains a one-goal hockey game. Giroux and Nilsson will duel. The Islanders gain control. Hamonic on for Matt Donovan. Right out to center ice. Skips all the way down. Grossman back to get it to Philadelphia. Chased by Colin McDonald. Grossman turns it over to Frans Nielsen. Quick little shot off of Mason. And now it comes back to Hamonic. Hamonic for Nielsen. Now McDonald off the side of the net. A little slow in reacting to that puck. Now McDonald centers, and it comes back out to Hamonic. Hamonic to Bailey. Bailey to Nielsen. By the center, blocked off. Grossman will clear. That's going to be icing. And the Flyers on their heels on this shift. But the same players with the icing call have to stay on the ice.
Craig Berube's going to use his timeout here, and it's a good time to use it. It was Nick Grossman who actually turned the puck over to start that sequence of Islander attempts. It looks like Chief decided to pull that timeout away and not use it. So he'll wait for another day.
Right now the Islanders got a little bit of swagger after that last goal, and plays like Grossman, you got to really make sure you keep that puck to the outside in a game like this. Play smart.
Thomas Vanek getting across the Philadelphia line to Tavares. To Vanek, he tips it, and Mason makes the save. Timeout was not granted to the Flyers if indeed they wanted it, and they might have wanted it. Here's Tavares dropping it off for Oposo. Oposo to Karkner. Karkner, a shot, hit a body and bounces wide. Mason elects to keep it in play, and then it's iced by And they have to keep the same players out on the ice, and the Flyers will have the option for a timeout again and again Craig Berube says timeout, and this time they will get it.
I think he was asking the players on the ice the previous time if they wanted him to call a timeout. This time he made an emphatic symbol to the referee that he definitely wanted timeout here, and the Flyers will try to regroup here and get things headed back in the right direction.
That's a heads-up play by Chief, because for him to be able to turn to his players saying, listen, I don't need to burn one if you guys are going to be all right, to be able to get that puck out and get a change. The only problem is it didn't quite work out that way.
Well, the Flyers with points in their last 6 games. We asked the head coach what's been the key to getting things turned around.
Well, I think we've made drastic improvements from, the first couple games I took over to playing better without the puck and being more responsible. Defending better, doing little things better, skating, getting back, checking, all those things. But, there's still room for improvement, like I said. I think that, moving the puck and taking care of the puck can be better at times. I still think we turn it over at times too much, but for the most part, I see improvement in a lot of areas.
Look out here, Tavares moving in front, and he turned and backhanded it wide. And certainly of late, some of those turnovers have been popping up in front. Mason, a huge save right there on Tavares. Back out shot, Martinic blocked. And the Flyers able to clear the zone. All the way down it goes. It's icing again. They have to stay out on the ice again.
Tavares is putting on a clinic here. I mean, right there he used his ability to come out backwards and then spun to make a great shot on Mason. Mason had not one but 2 great saves there on Tavares in close.
Hartnell and Giroux still on the ice. Downey has gotten out for Philadelphia. There he is, and the Flyers get the puck to center, and Downey knows he's got to get that in on goal, and then handcuff Nilsson a little bit. So the Flyers finally get their change. Here is Hamonic. Now the puck goes across. Hamonic has it back and across the line. Coburn comes over. Colin McDonald, Timonen, they all come together. Simmons could not get it past Bailey. Coburn hesitating. Now skates away from traffic. We've got ahead. Nice play by Schenn to get his stick on it. Simmons gets to it. Simmons moving on in. Simmons stops, waits, and then fires! Tipped wide by Lecavalier. Back out it goes. Luke Schenn will take the shot. Block. Bounces to Lecavalier. He waits to Braden Schenn. He's tied up. Couldn't get a shot. Gustafsson over to keep it in. Gustafsson backhands. Lecavalier back to Gustafsson. A shot blocked. So many shots blocked by the Islanders in this game, or shots that have gone off the mark for the Flyers. Luke Schenn ahead for Lecavalier. And he'll send it off for skate into the Islanders' zone. Braden Schenn fighting through traffic to get to it. Finds Voracek, trying to spin it in front. Goes all the way out toward the line. There's Giroux with a shot. Hit him body in front. Voracek trying to get a shot off. Could not. Matt Martin trying to clear. Now Bolton as well. Got it back to Martin and across to Matt Carkner. And Carkner will fling one in to the left of Mason. Islanders race to get to it. Martin first there, but then the Flyers get it back. The net is now off its moorings. Play stop. Martin, a late shot on Hartnell. And I don't think anything was called. We'll wait. We'll find out when we come back.
Steve Mason has been a little busier here in the third period, as right now the Flyers lead the New York Islanders 3-2. Let's take a look at our Hyundai save of the game, and Mason's the guy. Now watch the Islanders, who have been attacking. Watch this opportunity here. That's Tavares in tight. That's the wrong guy to have that ability, and as he makes a great save on John Tavares to keep this score at 3-2.
Well, the Islanders are really coming here in this hockey game. You never know what you're going to see. The Islanders played last night. You would think they would be the team that might be running out of gas, but they are playing with a lot of energy. They're also a team that struggled in the third this year, came into the game minus 12 in the third, which is tied for the worst in the NHL, but they're playing their best hockey of the game here in the third.
A couple of lineup changes for Jack Capuano, some fresh legs put in. Bolton ends up scoring the second goal of this game here in the third period, and without Peter Regan and Pierre-Marc Bouchard, they're finding ways to get the offense.
Hartnell stole the puck but could not do much with it. They are without Thomas Hickey, who is getting x-rayed. There's Bolton moving up with the puck. That shot fought off by Mason. Being told now that Hickey will not return. A lower body injury. Here is Claude Giroux moving it ahead. Voracek They play it into the Islanders zone. Both teams changing again. We'll be up on the 8-minute mark of this third period. Andrew McDonald off the stick of Clutterbuck. Mason will set it up for Timonen. Timonen to Braden Shen. Rink wide feed for Simmons. Handles it out of his skates. Sends it in and goes after it himself. Simmons marked by Matt Donovan. LeCavalier right back to Simmons, who was being hooked and grabbed and pulled, but it's all good, they say. Simmons could not get it back to the point. Now Clutterbuck to Grabner. Now Brock Nelson. Coming off the back of that, took a foul. Grabner, though, checked by Coburn, and Simmons will move it up and send it to the Islander line. Flyers will try to change here as Martinic turns with it. They go across to Donovan. Donovan from the red line sends it in. The University of Denver puck. Mark Streit behind his own net. Right wing feed. Downey, a nice move. His pass is to Reed. Reed, the shot blocked by Karkner. So many blocked shots by this Islanders team. Oposo moving up. Oposo centers it. Downey is there, and he'll calmly clear the zone.
Perfect position again for Steve Downey. Takes that puck, doesn't ice it, just settles it off the boards and allows the Flyers to get a line change and get fresh legs out there.
19 blocks for the Islanders. Here's Oposo dropping it back to Tavares. Tavares a flip shot. That's the save for Mason, and no further play.
Well, Santa Sacks, the ultimate Flyers gift pack, are on sale now. Get Flyers fans what they really want with Flyers and Phantoms tickets, an autographed puck or stick, a Flyers calendar, and more. Call 800-298-4200 and see Jake Voracek signing a bunch of pucks for you.
Never know who might have their John Hancock on the hockey puck. Flyers win the draw. Gustafson to Giroux, couldn't get it past Donovan. Nielsen back after, sent it up the wall, but the Islanders are on that. Nielsen to Josh Bailey. Bailey centers, it skips back out to Hamonic. The shot blocked, and Giroux swats at it. It bounces down the ice. It's running out of steam, will not be icing. As Donovan goes back to get the puck. Takes it back, and now finds Hamonic. In the middle, off the skates of Bailey, turned back out to center by Gustafson. Colin McDonald will fling in. Shen poking that to center. Cizikas is right there. We hit the midpoint of this third period. It is a 3-2 hockey game. Gustafson to Hartnell. In the middle, Giroux. He'll shovel one into the Islander zone. His line mates heading to the bench on the change. Martinic to McDonald. From the red line, he'll wind it in. Skips to the corner, Grossman. He is checked. Mason one-handing, able to poke that puck ahead to Shen. Shen now to Simmons. Simmons roaring up the right wing, and the puck rolled on him as he went to make a play. Andrew McDonald winds up with a disc. Setter he goes. Clutterbuck bumped off the puck by LeCavalier. He's played offensively by Vinny, and now Simmons after that, but it's icing.
Good work in the neutral zone by Vinny LeCavalier, forcing that turnover, and then the Flyers unable to connect with Wayne Simmons, who was up ice. The hybrid icing rule in effect, and the Flyers forced for a defensive zone faceoff. There's the hustle by LeCavalier. Great read, good physical contact, creates the turnover, and Mark Streit just can't catch the stick of Simmons.
Does a nice job of just getting in front of him and rubbing him off. That's all it is.
Islanders with it. Hamonic's shot is blocked. Now it's Simmons the other way. This ice out of the reach of Shen. The Islanders have it back. Karkner puts it through the neutral zone. Timonen fluttering one through center. Knocked down by Karkner. Carried in by Couturier. Reed is all tied up. Karkner got a hold of him, and now Oposo moving well. Knocked down by Couturier. Not that easy to do. Oposo is a pretty big, strong guy. Couturier knocked him down. Now Couturier hunting the puck. Got it to Reed. Reed centering for Downey. Downey is checked. Hamonic and he go after it in the corner. Tavares helping out his defenseman. And able to poke it ahead to Oposo. Oposo throws it across. Behind the plate, Downey and Hamonic just separating. As Oposo gets it across the Philadelphia line. The shot blocked. Goes right to Vanek, who winds it, fires, saves Mason, and he's able to cover up. And then Oposo and Downey begin to push and shove. New Flyers here in the third period, coming up on Comcast Sportsnet later on tonight. Chevy Malibu Sports Night. Let's get a preview from Amy Fadoul.
Some good work by Steve Downey. He was a little irritated on that last shift. Some good hustle in the corner here against Travis Hamonic. Hamonic rips his helmet off. Downey manages to knock him down there and then hustles back into his own zone and joins into the play. Some good work by him.
Well, look, it came all the way back without the helmet. He did a great job. I tell you, you see him got up on it. He got up on his skates. He hurried back, and once again, you see all 5 people back defending in front of Mason. And then Craig Berube wanted to have a little talk with Kevin Pollock, the referee, saying, why wasn't there a call on that? Downey was upset. Pollock came over, explained, everything's all calmed down now.
Everything's calm for the moment.
For the second.
Yeah, see Craig Berube tell him that's enough to Steve Downey. You've made your point. Don't talk to the ref anymore.
Well, the other thing, too, is that I just said it calmed down, and then Steve started yelling at the bench.
Yeah. Right in front of you. They got a little conversation going on. In the meantime, play back in. The Flyers have it. Hartnell moving it ahead. Scott Hartnell, quick pass to Giroux. Giroux stops, waits, back out Grossman, shot. Hartnell went into the net. The puck bounced out to Andrew McDonald. Giroux will steal and send it right back into the Islanders zone. Voracek after it. He's tied up. That's Nielsen, bodied by Giroux. Voracek in there as well. Voracek has the puck. Send it off the stick, and here's Schenn. He scores! Nielsen tipped it right back out in front, and Schenn pounced on it. And the Flyers back up by 2. It's 4-2. Brayden Schenn, 7th of the year as he scores for a case of Tasty Cake.
Schenn out on the ice with Voracek and Giroux as Hartnell made a good change. And he jumped out there in good position, sat up there as the third man high, and then released to get to the front of the net. Great read by Schenn. Good responsible play and a terrific finish.
Right here, you're going to see the Islanders get outmanned in their own zone. 2 Flyers, Giroux and Voracek, get the puck out of the corner. And that is not a good thing for the Islanders. And all of a sudden, Schenn was left all by himself. And what a great shot. Oh, that was a beauty.
There's one thing you can say about Brayden Schenn. He knows how to finish. We have seen him finish 7 times now this year, which just one behind Vincent Lecavalier for club leadership. Flyers dangerous in their own zone there. They get it out to center, and then it's drilled back in. Voracek and Giroux with the assist on that goal by Schenn. It's 4-2. Just over 7 minutes remaining in the period. Here's Reed by himself, moving up. Downey is now joined as Reed moves into the corner with it. And good hard work along the wall by the Flyers. Reed muscling it out in front. The net again up and off. It's Morris and back down. Play carries on as Thievening goes back to get the puck.
That's how you play with the lead. Get aggressive, get the pucks in deep, win the one-on-one battles, and drive the net. Great stuff from Matt Reed.
Coburn, get in. Now it's turned back. Here's Oposo from the red line. Wheels it into the Philadelphia zone. Even in his back. To deal with the bouncing puck and the forechecking and turned it over. Here's Carkner, a shot. Mason never saw it, but it went high and wide off the glass. Couturier taken off the puck by Tavares. Back out it goes to McDonald for a shot. That one off the stick and high and wide, and then caught the safety netting. And it's going to go out to center ice. Will the face-off.
Thomas Vanek with the redirection in front of Steve Mason there for the face-off outside. The Flyers return home for the annual Black Friday game to take on the Winnipeg Jets. It's an 11:30 a.m. start.
11:30.
Great seats are still available. Call 800-298-4200 or visit PhiladelphiaFlyers.com now to secure your seat. Bring the kids out to that one. 11:30 start against the Winnipeg Jets team that's lost 4 straight.
Have a little Black Friday brunch with the Flyers.
Great way to do it.
6:10 ending in this third period. Donovan will fling in. Mason lays it over the glass and out of play. That's going to be a penalty. He helps the defense out so much with his ability to play the puck, but this time it goes up over the glass. And Craig Berube knows his team will be shorthanded.
Game of inches there, and you can hear the communication on the ice. One of the Flyers telling Steve Mason to eat it, and he did not. He shot it, and it went up and over the glass. He's done some great work with the puck handling, and this time was a rare occasion that he gets caught.
Fourth time in the last 3 games, the Flyers have been guilty of a puck being cleared up over the glass and out of play. Right off the draw, Nielsen a shot, and Mason reaching back, poked it out of harm's way, and Couturier clears.
He's got to be the best player in this next 2 minutes, and he wants to make up for firing that puck up over the glass.
Andrew McDonald starts back for the Islanders. Another second power play. Donald in across the Philadelphia line, right along the line, and now gets to Tavares. Tavares, down low Nielsen. Centering, and Poso's there, but he's checked. Now Couturier able to clear as it went off the glove of McDonald to center.
All about positioning for Couturier there. He's in a great spot to be able to corral that puck and get enough on it to get it out.
There's the drop pass for Nielsen, but his pass off the skate of Reed. Now McDonald surveying. Goes to Tavares. Better step. And then he'll pump it in and chase. Poso first to the puck. Into him, and the puck to Nielsen. He's checked by Coburn. Good work, and then Reed clears. Outstanding work by Coburn along the wall.
Yeah, great recognition. Both Timonen and Coburn go into the corner to get that loose puck. Couturier covers in front, and Reed takes the wall in perfect position to grab it and get it out.
Here's Grabner with speed through center. Now he'll turn back with it. Organize the power play. Cross ice Hamonic. Hamonic with a shot. Blocked by Ronaldo. And then over-skated by Vanek. Trying to clear on the backhand was Shen. It goes into the Philadelphia bench. And so the face-off in the Philadelphia zone.
Luke Shen on the retrieval of that puck and was smart enough and sure enough not to get too much on that release, as Mason already picked up the penalty for delay of game. Shen came pretty close there, but it was low enough and into the Flyers bench that there would be no call.
Hall and Brock Nelson on this face-off. Hall wins another one. Grossman moves it along. Chance to clear for Couturier. Couldn't. Second try Coburn, and he does get it down the ice. And that will leave time for just one more foray in the offensive zone on the power play for the Islanders. As they start up, here is Hamonic. Hamonic to the line, but Clutterbuck's in ahead of him. It's offside.
Scott Hartnell doing a good job out there on this penalty kill over the last few seconds. He and Claude Giroux out there. We'll wait for Simmons to hop out of here after this neutral zone face-off, and the Flyers penalty killers do an outstanding job of sticking together and making the appropriate plays.
They were just perfect as far as their aggressiveness, their positioning, and not allowing the Islanders to get any really good rhythm onto that power play.
Grossman clears it all the way down. The power play is over. Islanders now for the last 24 against the Flyers, covering almost 9 games. Here's Cizikas racing up Philadelphia zone. Set it off the stick of Mason at the side of the net. Cizikas finished. Now gets back up, has the puck, tried to center, went off a skate, and then is backhanded all the way down by Philadelphia. This is icing.
Well, let's take a look at our Toyota turning point now. It's 3-2. The Islanders are really coming. And all of a sudden, they get outmanned in their own zone right there. Jake Voracek ends up with the puck, gets out in the slot, watch that puck come right off of the pad of Nielsen, right onto the stick of Shen. He drills it home to give the Flyers a little breathing room. 4-2 right now. They lead with 3:39 to go. That's our Toyota turning point as it stands now.
Point a game pace for Braden Shen over the last 7. Islanders get control, but they do so with a hand pass. Giroux wants a penalty here off the draw where you play the puck with your glove, and now Van Massenhoven is consulting with the linesman here.
Yeah, they're going to attempt here to call a penalty on Claude Giroux, but they are going to discuss it, and we'll see what they come up with after this.
Claude Giroux, despite some very serious arguments, is going to get called for a face-off violation. Look at his right hand as he sweeps the puck away. That was a rule put in last year. And watch again. Take a look. You can't use your hand as a centerman to be able to affect the play with your hand and moving it away. And you see Don Van Massenhoven along with Pierre Ratzico, Kevin Pollock and Brian Murphy, the other linesmen, are going to get involved. And they all went over, had a little discussion, came back and told Claude Giroux that was definitely a penalty.
And the Islanders actually had the puck, so the Flyers caught a bit of a break there.
Yeah, they blew the play dead. Even though the Islanders still had the puck, but the Islanders do get the chance to get back within one here. And their third man advantage of the game. Here's Andrew McDonald across. Tavares flubbed the shot, broke his stick. And now dives to try to keep the puck in the zone, but it gets past him and all the way down. You think this power play makes its way to the second half? That Jack Capuano pulls the goaltender?
Yes, I do.
Andrew McDonald moving on up. So back to the point. Now it's Nielsen to Oposo. Vanek, who's lethal, especially on the power play right around the net. Tavares to Oposo. Now to McDonald. Now the puck comes back through to Oposo for a shot that went wide. Now Tavares centers. There's Vanek in his office, but unable to tip that one home. Chance to clear for Reed, but he gets it all the way down. The scoreboard not showing the penalty time, so we're basically estimating right here. Less than a minute to go. Unoan just told the crowd, and the puck is set all the way down by the Flyers. 2:23 remaining in the third period, and somewhere around 40 seconds on the power play. And now Nielsen is following his team to center ice. So the extra attacker coming out for the Islanders. Empty net here. Grossman will just try to clear the zone. And he banked it. That might have been headed toward the net if Hamonic hadn't gotten his stick on it. Now Hamonic turns. And the pass goes across. Bailey dropping it to Hamonic. 6 skaters on 4 for the moment. Bailey. Nelson. Luke Schenn intercepts. But is checked, and Nelson gets it back. 10 seconds remaining on the power play. Here's Grabner. Back across. Hamonic shot deflected and went wide. Mason had no idea where that was. Now it's Nelson turning with it. Got it down low. The power play is over, so now it's 6 skaters on 5. Here's Nelson to Bailey. Back to Nelson. Angle try, stopped by Mason. Nelson gets it back. Nelson continues to control. Out to Hamonic across Grabner. Shot wide. Ends up on the mesh behind the net. Worked off that by Clutterbuck, who turns with it and centers it all alone in front, but unable to finish was Nelson. Schenn pokes it away from him and then clears all the way down the ice. It will miss the net, but it was deflected, so no icing.
Ryan Murphy made that call. He was very, very emphatic that it touched before going the length of the ice.
So 60 seconds remaining in the third period. Flyers by 2 as Andrew McDonald gets the puck to Tavares for a shot, and Mason fought that one off. And then it's taken by Reed. Reed to the red line. He'll fire, and he will score! Back-to-back 2-goal games for Matt Reed. This goal into the empty net seals the victory for the Flyers, making it 5-2. Reed again for a case of Tasty Cake.
Second time this season he scored an empty net goal against the New York Islanders. He ices this one after the Flyers penalty kill. Does an outstanding job. Jack Capuano can only look on, and the Philadelphia Flyers get another strong effort from their checking line. Reed, Downey, and Couturier out in the ice for yet another goal.
Mazda top shelf performers. Matt Reed obviously will be on that list with 2 goals. Wade Simmons, Claude Giroux, multiple point games. Flyers did allow some even strength goals here today after a long stretch without Tavares, Bolton, Nielsen. Made their marks to the Islanders, but the Flyers have the 5-2 lead. Simmons a shot here that goes off the glass. Into the final 30 seconds of this one. Strike will fire. That's blocked off in front by Carter and cleared out to center ice. Flyers end up now with 30 shots on goal. Islanders almost 40. They did not give up on this game. Give them credit for that. Second half, tough back-to-backs. They fought hard, but the Flyers able to hold them off. Schenn, it's a huge goal, then Reed into the empty net. The crowd roars. The Flyers sweep the homestand. 6 out of a possible 6 points. They get 7 games in a row in which they have gotten at least a point out of it. And Dublin now, but the Flyers are back to 500. 10-2 on the year as they knock off the Islanders 5-2.
And Steve Mason's back to 500 with the win. In 38 shots the Islanders threw his way. He stopped 36 of them, including some tough ones on the last couple of power plays. Matt Reed is our Bud Light player of the game as he comes up with yet another 2-goal performance. Terrific snapshot there to get the scoring started, and then ending it right here with the empty netter that sealed this one. Another Flyers victory at home, and the checking line and the goaltender come up big once again.
So the Flyers continue their winning hockey here in November. 7-2-2 in November. They're tied with the Boston Bruins for the best record in the Eastern Conference in this month. And now lots of road play ahead. Tonight's Flyers-Islanders game was brought to you by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places. By Bud Light, it's the sure sign of a good time. Here we go. And by Wells Fargo. When you're considering buying your first home, Wells Fargo is with you. Wells Fargo, together we go far. And the Flyers will be going far. Going to a lot of different places on the road here, and it starts in South Florida on Monday night. They take on the Florida Panthers. Our coverage on Comcast Sportsnet beginning at 7 o'clock. Tonight, they met the Islanders. The Flyers scored 3 goals quickly in the second. Hold off the Islanders 5-2. For the entire crew, as well as my partners Keith Jones and Steve Coates, I'm Jim Jackson. Good night from the Wells Fargo Center. Stay tuned now for Flyers post-game live, presented by McDonald's.